So I went to Spartanburg Methodist College, which is a junior college. It had good baseball. That's where Mookie Wilson went. That's where Reggie Sanders went.
Sure, yeah. So these two guys came out of this college.
So there's a good baseball program there. And so I went there. First, I sat out my first semester after high school, worked that summer and then in the fall semester, and saved, I think tuition was $2,500 a semester or something. So I saved all that money and then went to Spartanburg Methodist to play baseball. And I pitched the last 2 innings of the first game and the last inning of the last game.
Boy, they counted on you, man.
And I was just like so bummed out. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I just spent my life savings and it got me. I had these big dreams of, this is my big breakthrough, and nothing happened. And so I actually almost joined the Marines at that time. And because my twin brother was in the Marines at that time, I was going to join and just go that route. But I had another year of Legion ball, and my dad would always help coach the Legion ball team. So I went, and we had we were runner-up in the state that year in American Legion ball, and so then a couple Division II colleges started calling me. College of Charleston, Newberry College, Winter, started calling and asking me if I wanted to play, half scholarship, that type of stuff. So I called my junior college coach back up, and Coach Floyd, and I told him that I might be going to another school. He said, Bill, come back. I don't know how he did this, but he told me if I won 8 games, I love it, the next year he'd give me a half scholarship. For some reason I just had something to prove to him, So instead of going to where I had a full ride, whether I went 0-10 or 10-0, I went back to junior college, and I was 11-1.
11-1.
Yeah, and was player of the year in the conference, and that led to being recruited by the USC Gamecocks, and so then.
What a jump!
Oh man, I mean that was. Well, you know what was crazy about that? I was raised in a Clemson family. It's like the Ohio State family sending their son to Michigan. I mean, my dad's in the Hall of Fame at Clemson, and I always wanted to. We ate out of tiger glasses, tiger plates, tigers on the walls. All this stuff in my house.
But the Tigers didn't call, man.
And, and it's really fun. I'll tell you another story. This is really funny. Coach Wilhelm, I love him to death. He was the coach of the Tigers. He's died a couple of years ago, but he was a coach for probably 35 years. He came in 1977. Clemson was going to the College World Series. Carolina was going to the College World Series. We were going to the regionals. And we all scrimmaged each other to stay in shape. I was getting recruited by Clemson and Carolina. Clemson came to scrimmage us, and after the game, Wilhelm came walking over. I'm sitting in the dugout, and everybody's like, here he comes. And he Father likes so he's going to offer you a scholarship. And he came in and he looked around, he says, which one of y'all is Bill Landrum? I'm sitting down, I kind of, it's me. Kind of like, that's my seat. He said, stand up, son. So I stood up. I'm like 6'1", 155 pounds. He looks at me and he goes up and down, takes a step back, looks at me again and goes, you're just a skinny shit. I thought you were some big stud. And turned around and walked off and just left me there humiliated in front of my face. I hated that man with a passion. Now, so then I go to Carolina, which was a great motivator. He motivated me so much to get in the gym, start working out, gain some weight, put some size on, which helped me tremendously. And then actually, years later, when I was married, my wife was going to Clemson. I lived there in the off season, trying to work out with Clemson before I went to spring training and got to know Wilhelm. Greatest man, I love him to death. So I'm not speaking badly of him.
You can't judge a guy by just one impression, but that one initial impression was a tough one.
He spoke the truth. Yeah, it hurt me.
And you were a skinny little guy, weren't you?
I was.
So
still am.
You do well as a Gamecock.
I did well as a Gamecock. I was 22 and 4, I think. years as a
2 and 4
starter.
for the Gamecock.
And did not get drafted. And so here I find myself out of college eligibility, and the only thing left is professional ball, and no one wants me. So I left to Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and played on a summer league team up there, hoping to get on with the Detroit Tigers. The guy that owned the team was a bird dog for the organization. Told me if I came up there and did a good job, he would guarantee me a spring training league.
If you do a good job.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not giving you this to get here. So get here and do a good job.
So anyway, I go up there, and then lo and behold, the Cubs called, and short story long, I ended up going to Sarasota and playing in the Gulf Coast Rookie League that summer.
Did you pitch more than 2 innings of the first game and 2 innings of the last game?
Yeah, but not much. I was the mop-up guy when we were down 20-0.
In the rookie leagues, you're a mop-up guy.
And I'm a college kid that's in there with a bunch of 17, 18-year-old kids and 16-year-old Latins, and I can't even break the lineup. So that winter, man, I remember just like it was yesterday. I get this letter in the mail, and my mom calls me and says, "Bill, you got a certified letter from the Chicago Cubs." I'm like, all right, that's my contract, man. Let me go get it. So I get my little beat up Volkswagen. I drive out of the house, and I get this thing, and this certificate, you know, where you go down to the post office, they give you what the letter. I get to the post office, and they hand me this letter, and I got this sinking feeling because it was so thin. You know, a contract should be thick, you know, at least 5 or 6 pages. It's like one sheet of paper folded in an envelope. So I went and bought me a beer. And I sat in my Volkswagen, I'm sitting in the parking lot, I'm drinking this beer. I'm like, should I open it? No. I was scared to open it because I just had a bad feeling. So by the time I finished the beer, I opened the letter, and it was the Cubs giving me my unconditional release. So I'm like, oh God, it's over now. So that winter, I spent the whole winter riding all 26 teams, trying to get somebody to give me a look, and all I asked for is just to bring me to spring training. If you release me then,
give me a look-see.
Just give me a look-see, and no one would do it. In fact, the Cubs, I'll never forget this guy's name, C.V. Davis. He was the field coordinator for the minor league player development program for the Cubs. Wrote me a letter and said, "Bill, as I see it, you'd be better off putting your energy toward another career you'll never make in baseball."
Which motivation.
Fueled me even more. I mean, I was just hard-headed enough.
Can I interrupt? How many years did you spend in the big leagues, according to your pension?
About 6.
6 years in the big leagues. Over how many year period?
15-year professional career.
All right, now I'll go backwards. Go ahead.
So yeah, so it weren't. I wasn't overnight success anyway. Let's put it that way. So then a scout, Larry Doty, who was a Red Scout at the time, and went on to be my general manager when I was at the Pirates, ironically, or maybe it wasn't ironically, maybe it's fate.
Yeah.
Sent my college roommate, who was a catcher and a darn good one, a letter of asking him to come down to an invitational tryout in Tampa, Florida. And I said, well, gosh, we call him Red Light. Gosh, Red Light, I wonder if I can borrow that number and call him and see if he'll let me come. So I did, and I called him, and Larry said, "Yeah, Bill, I remember you from Carolina. You're a good college pitcher. Come on down. Let's see if you've improved any." And so it was a 3-day weekend. About 35 kids from all over the country were meeting at the campus of University of South Florida in Tampa, their baseball field, for a 3-day workout. Each day they cut people. Come the last day, I'm still there. And again, short story long, I ended up being the only guy to sign on that tryout team.
Back to the rookie league?
My future pitching, first big league pitching coach, Scotty Breeden, he's the one that him and Larry Doty are the ones that signed me. So that's just weird how all that comes full circle years later. So then I went to Florida State League in Tampa, Florida, A-ball with the Reds. And actually they had a great first half. I was like 6-2, I think, in the first half. And then I hurt my back, missed most of the second half. But then the neatest thing happened. Jimmy Lett, who was my manager, and I just saw word somewhere, maybe it's the Washington Nationals. He's coaching for them in the big leagues.
Really?
I think he lives in West Virginia, so that makes sense he'd be in Washington. But anyway, he made a relief pitcher out of it.
Ah, there's the switch.
And there's the switch from the starter to reliever. And the next year I followed him because he went to Double-A in Waterbury, Connecticut with the Reds, and he liked my...
Waterbury means you had a roommate in Waterbury?
Yeah, I had several roommates.
I'm talking about some guy that lives in Texas.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, Jeff Russell and I roomed together for about a year and a half. And
With ping pong tables?
We had full court Nerf basketball set up, and we lived in a 3-story house. We had the 3rd floor of an old, probably 100-year-old house with old hardwood floors. And
who was better, Nerf basketball? Bottom line.
Oh man!
Because he's going to see it. Russell may see this.
Oh, you tell Russell I'll eat his lunch today.
Ping pong, same thing. Am I supposed to tell him that you were?
No, we didn't have ping pong. We had air hockey.
It was
table.
air hockey.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to tell him the same thing?
Yeah. Huh?
I'm supposed to tell him the same thing?
The air hockey table didn't get as much use, but he was probably better. We were probably equal at the keg in the refrigerator. but that was just a great summer. There was 4 of us in that house, and
I don't want you to say what place you finished in, but in your time in the minors, you said, here are some of the guys I played with in the minors on this team.
oh my God!
Rattle off who was on your minor league team.
One team in Denver, Colorado. We had our starting outfield was Cal Daniels, Eric Davis, and Paul O'Neill.
Oh my Lord.
We had Chris Sabo at 3rd, Barry Larkin at short, Tim Reynolds at 2nd, who went on to manage briefly with the Expos. We had John Stearns at first base, Lloyd McClendon catching. We had Andy McGafkin. We had Ron Robinson. We had...
This is in the minors.
This is in the minor leagues. We had Rob Murphy. We had Carl Willis.
My question is, did you win the championship, just blew the rest of the league away?
Somehow we managed to finish 5th. with all that, all that talent. Most people I just named have at least 5 years in the big leagues, if not 15, and not Hall of Famers in the Reds Hall of Fame. I mean, it was.
But you all did
was
grow up
sick.
together. You all gelled together.
Yes.
You know, it led to Lou Piniella eventually leading that group of guys to the World Series.
Yep, and I was actually on the wrong side. I was in the 3rd base dugout at that time with the Pirates, watching all these guys, Tom Browning and all these guys, celebrate going to the World Series after they beat us. In 1990, and I couldn't help. I mean, I couldn't help but just smile a little bit because I can remember. I was having flashbacks to so many moments of their struggles, our good times, and all that. I mean, all the just the journey, and I knew the journey that they had gone to get to where they were because I was there with them from.
And they didn't just go to the World Series.
They
boom, 4
swept it, yeah. And
who would have predicted that?
yeah,
Against
the Bash
the
brothers
Bash
and Eckersley, who was flawless.
McGuire, Canseco,
Man, I tell you what.
Hendu. Baseball's baseball. There's a guy in the front office in the Pirates. He knew who Landrum was. So, baseball's baseball. You moved from the Reds to the Pirates.
I actually had 1 year with the Cubs in between there.
And the Pirates got you?
No, then I got released again by the Cubs. The Cubs released me.
Are you serious?
The Cubs released me twice in my career. Twice. That
What
wasn't
is your
twice.
problem with Chicago?
I don't know, but they will. I will say this. I will say this. You can go on record. Bill Landrum said, "The Cubs will never win a World Series
While you're alive.
while I'm alive."
Okay.
I have my theory behind that, but that's for another show. But it
guess-
has nothing to do with releasing me twice. I will say that I am not the curse. I did not cause the curse.